In this video, we're going to go explain how to set up the 4-bar mechanisms for these 4 different inversions for the Grashof case. You can see that in this particular case here, here's the shortest link, right? And so you have this adjacent link grounded. In this one, you have the other side, the other adjacent link grounded. In this one, you have the shortest link grounded. And in this one, you have the opposite from the shortest grounded. So we're going to set this up, and it looks like in this graphic right here, you can see that this looks like the shortest one, then followed by this one here, and then this one, and this is the longest. Okay, so if we look at the links that you have in your box, you can see that you're going to need 3 of these screws right here, which are about 12 millimeters. Right, you can see they measure, they're M5s, they measure about 12 millimeters long. And then you need this one, this one's about 45 millimeters long. You need a couple of M5 nuts, and you need this 3D printed part here. So this bigger, larger diameter section here, you can see it's about 20 millimeters. And so you have to pick a combination of links that's Grashof. And the holes are 15 millimeters apart. So you can see that, you know, if you start from this end, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this would be 90 millimeters from joint to joint, and so on. So this is 75, 60, and 45, and 30. So if you have this as your shortest and this one as your longest, so this is a 30, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 15. So this is a 75. The other way you can do it is just say, you know, this is, think of this as a 2 times 15. So then it would be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in terms of the lengths. So a 2 and a 5 is 7, and a 3 and a 4 is 7. So that's actually Grashof. It's case 3. It's a special case, but that would work. You could also do 3, 4, 5, 6. 3 and 6 is 9, 4 and 5 is 9, so this would also be Grashof. I'm going to work with these 4 right here. So if we want to start with the first case, so you have these parts here, and let's, I'll start with this link right here. So this is the 2, and then for that, I'm going to connect to this one right here. So what I want to do is show you, you can see that on one side, on one side here, you just have a round hole, and this one is a hex, so the nut fits inside of that. So the if we set this up like this, you can see that put this together here, and then the nut drops in on this side. Okay. Okay, so you don't have to over tighten these. And so again, I'm working on this case number 1, and so we have this, the ground part is actually going to be on the table on this one. So next, let's see, I'm going to connect that to this one here. Okay, I actually have this one backwards, so okay, so and for this particular first one here, I'm going to have this one be grounded, so I want the round one here, and I'll put the hex on this side, and then use one of these short screws to go through here. And as I said, you don't want to over tighten this. Okay, so now on this one, we'll put a hex, and then we'll use this one right here. Whoops. Okay, and put these two together. Okay, and then you can take this part and this will just kind of snap in there. Okay, so now what we want to do, we have a 2 and a 4 and a 3, and the 5 will be the actual ground. So I'm just going to turn this like this, and again, we don't need to tighten this up too much. And now I can want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this one, and this will be the long one here. And so when you do this, and you just have to get this started a little bit here. So when you do this, you're actually going to put a piece of paper on this, and then you can take a pencil and kind of push that through. And so now you'll be able to, you can see as you rotate this around, I have that a little bit too tight, and you're going to have to move the pencil here when this passes over here, and then put the pencil back in, and so that you're going to be able to trace out the coupler curve. Okay. Now you'll notice that I'm just going to take this out here. So in other words, you'll have the paper down. Make sure you sketch out what link is grounded. So in other words, this section right here, you'll just put in some 45-degree crosshairs there, and you'll see that that will be grounded. Now, one thing you'll notice is when you get to this toggle point here, this one could come down, right? In other words, you could just keep coming down like this, as opposed to, in the other choice, because it's a toggle point, it could go up. Okay, so I would say just, pick one case like this, and you're going to sketch out the on the paper. So I'll actually come back and do that in just a minute. But let's look at the other cases. So that would be number 1. What about number 2? Okay, so in figure number 2, take this apart, and figure number 2, it's going to be not the 5, but the 4 that's going to be actually grounded. Okay, so we're going to have to take this apart and we'll put the long member in here. Okay, so we'll replace this with this long one. Okay, and then in this section here, this is going to be 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and Okay, and as I said, you'll have a piece of paper here. So now, again, if you look at Figure 2, this is approximately what you see on the lab handout for Figure 2. So again, you'll put a pencil in the coupler, and then trace out this motion, right, for this, and again, with the pencil in there. Okay, so numbers 3 and 4, I'm just going to go ahead and set that up, and you can see that's a little bit more interesting. So let me just set that up, and I'll. Okay, so this would be figure number 3, and you can see here you would put your pencil down in one of these holes and trace out the path. And you're going to have a couple places where you're going to have to pick up the pencil, right, and then put it back down. In this particular case, you'd have to actually you're going to have to trace out. You can see where the trace is going, but obviously, if this was actually held in place with something above here, right, above that hole, then this could continue on through. And I'm not going to take the time to put that apart, but you get the idea that, in other words, this motion, you can see that both of these, the upper one here and the lower one, can do complete revolutions if this part wasn't in the way. So you can trace out the path of the coupler, what would be the coupler here, but you're going to have to lift the pencil up when it crosses. Notice that there's also a toggle point here, so this could continue in a motion like that or in a motion like this. All right, and now I'm just going to set up the last one, so I'll pause here. Okay, so this is number 4 in the figure, and so now you can see this is 3. This would be the 3, 2, 4, 5. So that matches Figure 4, and I'm just going to kind of hold this one in place, and you can see that both of these, this is a double rocker inversion, so the coupler itself will rotate, right? It can go through the complete 360-degree rotation. So again, you would put your pencil in this hole, and where it's blocked there, you're going to have to pick it up and then just kind of complete the trace to get that in done. So maybe what I'll do is I'll go ahead and put the paper on now for one of these, so you can actually see it with the paper on it. Okay, so to make this a little bit easier, I'm going to want to put these bolts through. You can see they're 3 holes apart, so that would be 45 millimeters. So what I can do then is I'll just put, pause this, I'm going to take those out. So I'll just kind of put a mark there, and then I know that the other hole I want is going to be 45 millimeters away, so I'll put another hole here, and so then what I can do is just kind of poke this through and find a hole. Right, get that set up. Okay, and then I can find this hole over here. Should be okay, so there's that hole. All right, so now we have this. We can. All right, so first thing we're going to want to do here is here's our ground link. So I'm just going to draw a line between these two holes right here, and we'll be able to sketch out that ground link. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some hash marks on here just to emphasize that that's the ground link. Okay, and then so for a particular position we can go ahead and trace out these other links. And same thing with this one over here. We'll go ahead, trace that out. Okay, so I'll just move this out of the way here for a minute. So again, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just going to, right, and here's this other link. And so now you have the ground link there. Here's the ground link, and we've traced out the other links. And now what we want to do is push this pencil through and see if we can get the path, trace the path that it follows. And again, once you get to this spot right here, obviously you're going to have to take the pencil out until you pass that point, and then it's going to be coming back the same way. So on this, you can see that now it's actually down a little bit. So this is probably the most difficult one because it keeps crossing over itself. And you can see then that comes back this way. All right, so it comes back this way. And I'm just going to take this out now. And you can see that this would actually continue on this circular path to about here. And then it reverses, right, and it's coming back this way. All right, so I move that out of the way. You can see that that's going to come back approximately like this. Right, and you can see where this comes like that, and then it's coming back, and then it would move towards this section over here. Right, so about like this. So anyways, that's probably the most difficult one to do, but let me take that out. And so we'll take this, take that out. And so there's the ground link. Here's the other four links, and the spot that we were tracing was that part right there. And you can see that the shortest link then goes, that couple point goes through this type of path. Okay, so anyways, you'll have a sheet for each of these four inversions for the Grashof, and for the non-Grashof, you only have to do one of the inversions. So anyways, I hope that helps.